Hello everyone. In today's video, I will attempt to answer the question, what makes an action sequence great, by analyzing the truck chase scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now if you're one of the 1% of people wondering,
Truck? What truck?
Stop this video right now and go watch Raiders. It's one of the best, if not the best, action-adventure film ever made. Don't make any excuses, go watch it right now. We're all in quarantine, you've got nothing better to do. Before we begin, keep in mind that I don't really know what I'm doing, I'm
Making this up as I go.
I'm not a film critic, just a fan of cinema. Anyways, let's get on with the video. There are three elements of great action that I think are perfectly highlighted by this sequence: an active protagonist, tension, and intentional action. To start off, let's look at point number one, the active protagonist. If you've learned anything about storytelling, active and passive protagonists should be nothing new to you. For those who have no idea what I'm talking about, the difference is actually pretty simple. Active protagonists drive the plot forward, while passive protagonists get driven forward by the plot. In this video essay, I'm extending that idea to action sequences. At the beginning of this scene, Indiana Jones actively makes the choice to go after the Ark. He could have just given up and let the Nazis win, but he didn't. When he catches up to the convoy, he is the one who hijacks the truck. When the Nazis retaliate and try and stop him, he's the one to stop them. And when he is thrown out in front of the truck, it is his smarts and skills that save him, not anybody else. It is all his doing. By the way, if you're one of those people who think Indiana Jones has no character arc or adds nothing to the story, I suggest you check out Rating Indy's Lost Character Arc by Channel Awesome. It's a great video and it kinda inspired me to make this one. Anyways, let's move on to point number two, tension and danger. Let's say you're to watch a movie where the protagonist is invincible, can never be defeated. No matter what happens, they easily defeat their foes without any challenge. That's what we call a boring movie. Indiana Jones, on the other hand, is anything but that. Throughout the truck chase sequence, there is always an element of danger because Indiana Jones is a vulnerable hero. He can be killed just as easily as anyone else, and since we as an audience understand that, tension is created. At any moment during the sequence, Indy is in danger. The next step in building tension is to have a shifting power dynamic. At the beginning of the sequence, Indiana is the underdog. One man on horseback versus a truck full of Nazis with an escort. It seems like impossible odds, but as the scene progresses and Indy successfully hijacks the truck, we start to see how he could come out on top of this. Of course, there have to be some obstacles in his path to success, and right when Indy has nearly won, the power dynamic shifts dramatically, with Indy being shot. All of a sudden, Indy starts losing. The power switches back into the hands of the enemy, and Indy keeps losing. He's thrown out in front of the truck and is nearly killed. But right when we are about to lose hope for our hero, Indy does the impossible and quickly rises back to the top. He gets closest to losing right before he wins. One thing that makes the shifting of power so easily recognizable in this scene is the incredible soundtrack by John Williams. Notice how the music changes towards the end of the sequence. Right as Indy starts to lose, the music becomes more dramatic, and we don't get to hear the upbeat hero's tune until he gets back up and wins the fight. if you were to listen to the music without watching the scene, you would easily be able to identify when the heroes are winning and when they are losing. A shifting power dynamic, in essence, is building tension. However, it will fail if there is no danger. If we take a step back and look at the movie as a whole, there are almost no scenes that lack tension. I'd argue that there really are only two major ones. At the beginning, when Indy is first introduced to the quest for the Ark, and at the start of Act 2, when we are introduced to Saul and his family. Let's move on to my last point, shooting action with a purpose. Many action movies center themselves around the idea that no matter what, action is cool and people will like to watch it. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Mindless shaky cam action sequences plague Hollywood these days, and all they make for are forgettable action movies. Raiders of the Lost Ark is one of the most iconic pictures of the last 40 years. There's a very good reason for that. The action is shot with purpose. Each shot of this sequence pushes it forward, either by introducing a new obstacle for Indiana or having him overcome an old one. It's put together in such a way that each piece clearly establishes what has to happen for Indy to come out on top. There's no shaky cam here, but well choreographed, intentional action. Well, that's all I've got for now. Hopefully you enjoyed my video. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it.